Welcome back to the channel. Today we've got 3 different ways to mod your Leatherman Surge and to add some woodworking tools to it. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so this is inspired by someone in the comments who actually asked, how do I add some woodworking tools to my Leatherman Surge Wave? I forget exactly which one it is. These will be obviously interchangeable. So these are several ways. Now the first way is just to take the large screwdriver that is in either one of these. So let me pull out the Leatherman Surge here, and it's got a giant screwdriver, and the first and easiest way is just grind that down so you've got a chisel edge on the screwdriver. So for instance, my Leatherman Wave had already been modified, and so I was able to just grind an edge there and then go ahead and use that as a chisel. So that's the easiest way. Secondly, we can actually add it to the bit driver. So let's go ahead and close this up. And then we find our bit driver. Now obviously if we wanted to be super lazy, we could just add an edge to the proprietary Leatherman bit. But why do that? Let's go ahead and remove that. We don't have to ruin our nice Leatherman bit. We can just take one of our 1/4 inch bit drivers or bits laying around. This can be from a cheap Chinese, maybe multi-tool kit. That's where this is from. And you can take it to the grinder and you make it thin enough to fit in the bit, and then you just put an edge on it like I did this one. So I took it from this to this, and then we go ahead, we put this in the bit driver, I've put a little edge on it, and then we can use it as a chisel as well. There you go. So that's fairly easy. Now obviously you're going to need to fine tune these, put a nice edge on them. I haven't taken the time to do that yet, but that's something that can be done as well. All right, so those are 2 of the 3. Now the last one is a little bit more in depth. We can go ahead and get a woodworking kit. So some people want to make wooden spoons and so forth that require more than just a normal chisel. So that's not too hard to do. What we can do is get a chisel set. This one was extremely cheap for illustration purposes, but you can get a more expensive wood chisel set, and then you can modify them to fit in the bit holder. So for instance, we have got this blade right here, a little different than just the chisel. Then we have got this blade right here, nice wider chisel. And then this one I even got to work as well. So this is more like a gouge. So for some people, they would want something like this. To go ahead and to dig out of the wood and make different things and so forth. So in this one I actually didn't seat far enough down, that's why it's a little loose. But anyway, so these are all options. And then I wanted to show you that with these tools, if you get them to fit properly, you can actually just leave them in your multi-tool. So for the Surge, for instance, let's go ahead, close this up, and there we go. We've got the chisel instead of the bit driver, and everything closes. You don't have to do any modifications that are going to hurt your warranty. You can go ahead and just leave that chisel in there in case you want to go hiking out to the woods or need it for something else, and then just sits in there. So that's a really good option. Many people don't really like to harm this tool, which I don't necessarily either. So those are all options. Again, number 1, we can just take our normal flat screwdriver, put an edge on that. Number 2, we can get the bit driver. We can just use a 1/4 inch. And then thirdly, we can take some small woodworking tools and modify them to fit in these holders. Well, I hope this video has been helpful to you. Make sure to ask questions below if you want to see more mods. I'm working on another mod that was suggested in the comments right now. I've got some ideas on that, so keep tuned, like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.